my name is Kaisa from Wreath by Kaisa, and I'm here to show you how to complete your very own DIY Easter wreath kit. Now, first of all, let's have a look and see what you've got in your wreath kit. So you have got a wicker 30cm wreath base. You should have received 2 stems of green leaves, 2 stems of colourful silk autumn leaves, 3 stems of eucalyptus, 2 bits of berries. These are a bit shorter stems than shown in the pictures, just easier to apply. Some hydrangea, yellow flower, a couple of pine cones, and some floral wire. Now, let's get started. Now, the whole purpose of doing a wreath kit for me is that you can complete it and you've literally got all the bits that you need, and you don't need anything extra. So the only thing you need to grab is a pair of scissors. I just use my arts and crafts scissors, so don't use your fancy kitchen scissors if you've got such. Just your normal standard scissors are fine. So we're going to start off with, first of all, adding one of these green stems onto it. Doesn't matter where you apply it, you just basically push it in through here, these gaps, wherever you feel like you can get it nicely to slot in. And think about how do you want to hang it. Do you want to hang it on so that the flowers sit on the right side or the left side? I always hang my flowers on the left side, and I don't know why, but choose which side you want to work on. So I'm going to be working on the left side just because that's how I literally do every single wreath I ever do. So you can now see that I've just pushed this gently in, and I'm going to grab some floral wire, and I'm going to cut this. You don't need a big bit, just like a small bit like this, maybe this bit. And I'm going to cut it. You can see how easily it just cuts through. And now if you look at these green leaves, you can see that they're sort of twisting and turning everywhere. What you want is to just fold them so that you get the nice green bits. So I'm going to grab this bit, this top bit here, put it onto the wreath so that it sits there nicely. And I will push the floral wire through the bits of wicker. I'm going to show you in a minute what I've done. Okay, so I'm going to just show you. So you can see that that's the stem, that is the floral wire that just goes through underneath. And then I'm going to just pin this, the top part of the green leaves, and I'm going to keep twisting and turning. Just basically just do like a little, I don't know, it's a knot. I'm going to push this down a bit. Okay, so you can now see it sits a lot nicer. You can actually see the outside of the green leaves. There's some here that you can only see the back side, but because these are artificial flowers, just gently turn them around where you see that they are attached. And this one as well. Oops, I said gently, didn't I? That wasn't very gentle. I think I've just gone a bit too much. And if you can't turn them around, don't worry, because we can always turn them around later when we then add more stuff. So that is your first bit of green leaves. Next bit, you can choose whichever one you want to put. You can put the eucalyptus first, or you can just go for the autumn leaves. I'm going to go for the autumn leaves. So I'm just going to push this through. So I'm going a little bit further down than to where I put my green leaves. And I'm going to show you in a minute what I've done. I'm going to keep turning these around as well. Sometimes these can be a little bit fiddly, so you'll get them right, don't worry. And if you can't, you can always just snap them off with scissors and then just find a better place for them. If you feel like that they're just not sitting well, like this little bit here, I might end up cutting it off because it's just not sitting well. So that's now your green leaves and your autumn leaves. Now, if you look on the back side, you can see that it's really like loose and floppy. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit less work on this wreath because I don't think you want to watch me for the next 40 minutes to put this together. So at every step of the way, you just keep repeating. You take some floral wire, you cut it, and you attach it around. Also at the back, if you've got such loose bits here, it will look a bit nicer if you do the same thing again, so that you add a little bit floral wire so that you get it sitting nicely. Or some people just like to have it so that it looks a bit more wild, so that it's a bit of a more like an authentic look. But whatever you prefer, it's gonna look pretty either way. So you're now gonna add the floral wire onto the leaves, but I'm gonna go on to the next step. So next I'm gonna be pushing in the eucalyptus. You've got 3 of these, so you can choose if you want to put them on the top. If you want to put 2 on the top, 1 at the bottom. Again, there's no rules. It's your wreath. You decide what you want to do. And I'm now gonna just do 2 of these up here. So you can see that I've now pushed them in. It looks a bit messy now, don't worry. It's gonna look really nice once it's finished. So next what we are going to be doing is we're gonna do one of the pine cones. Now I'm gonna show you, there's now an intersection here. Can you see here where you've got, it looks a bit messy, you've got all the stems going in. So this is the perfect place now for this pine cone so that we can cover it up. So for the pine cone, you're gonna need quite a longer piece of the floral wire. It doesn't matter, there's extra there, and if you don't use it all, it's fine. So you slot this through at the bottom through the little grooves in the pine cone, put it onto the wreath, and then you just twist them around to the back. You do the same thing again. So you fold them over, and at this stage you can now cut these a lot shorter. I find it when you do the pine cones, it's easier to use a longer bit of the floral wire, and then you can always just trim it down. So that's sitting there now nicely. Perfect. So next, we're then gonna put in the red berries, or the orange berries, sorry. And now you can see the floral wire here again. I like to do my wreath so that the floral wire is always hidden, so that you don't end up seeing it. So what I have now done, because I've left the pine cone one quite loose, I've actually managed to push in my orange berries in with the same floral wire as for the pine cone. But as for you, if you've done it tighter, don't worry, you can just do another floral wire. Oops, sorry, I'm fiddling around here too much. You can just do another floral wire just to attach it properly so that yours don't fall off. But again, I'm showing you how to do this, not completing this up to a perfection, because I do find it very boring to just listen to me talk and talk and talk about wreaths. I'm just going to tighten it up a bit because I saw it's actually a little bit loose, which is why that orange berries fell off. A bit tighter. There you go, that looks a bit better now, and I'm going to push this further down there. Okay, now we are sort of reaching the halfway point. So at this point, the next step is then to add the hydrangea in the middle. However, this is your good halfway point to then start to do the other side. So you know the hydrangea is going to be sitting here pretty much in the middle. So we're then going to have a look and see this finishes here. So we then want to, this is our measuring point. We then want to start putting in the next set of green leaves in from where the hydrangea finishes. That way it's going to be nice and even. So same thing again. You push this one in, twist it around so that you get the right side of the green leaves, and just take, I've got some leftover wire here, so I'm just going to use this teeny tiny bit of wire and put it through, because otherwise these leaves are just going to be sticking all over the place. So I'm going to be putting this one here so that it's fixed. Just like a little teeny tiny bit of wire there. to secure it. Then we're going to do basically the same time on repeat. We're going to do our autumn leaves. Remember, keep doing your floral wire. Don't copy what I'm doing, because you want the more floral wire you put and the more secure you make it, the better it's then going to be for you in the autumn wind and everything. So you want to make it as secure as possible. Okay, this is looking really nice. So then on the other side, another pine cone. Again, cut a long, this is a bit tangled, so I'm gonna snap it into, so just grab a really long bit just to make your life easier, and all the way around the pine cone, and then all the way to the back, where you then tighten these ones around. Try and do as tight as you can, and then again you can either fold the extra wire in or you can cut it shorter, however you prefer. Then I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm just gonna push these berries in here, but you again do the floral wire for these ones properly as well. I'm actually going to show you a little trick. This is then the same that you can then do for the hydrangea. So if you just twist it around like this a couple of times, you will then get a little bit better hold on the stem, and this works really nicely for these little ones with a teeny tiny little stem. So let's put in the orange berries on this side, and then you've got this additional yellow flower, which you can basically choose. You can put it wherever you want. You can put it on the top or at the bottom, and just do the same thing again, and just wrap the floral wire really tightly around, and then I'm going to show you here. Do this thing again where you sort of, sorry, I'm struggling to show you, where you lift a bit of this wicker bit here, push it underneath the wire, and then once again you've got it tied down nicely. And even better, you've then got the hydrangea that's going to be sitting on top of all of this, so you're not going to be able to see any of them wires and fittings. So then lastly, hydrangea. So for this one, go through in between these mini stems. You see what I'm doing here? Hold on, just make sure that you see properly. Sort of like there, in between all these little mini stems. Then wrap it a couple of times around the big stem, and then you put it in, and then the same thing again. You then wrap your floral wire around, and same thing for the hydrangea as for the pine cones. Do a long enough bit on the floral wire. I did mine a little bit too short, I must admit. So if you've then been following these instructions step by step, what you should now have is you should have a pretty autumn wreath. And because you've been doing it in sections, you're ultimately, every time you put in the next amount of flowers or leaves, you're then covering up the previous floral wire. Now you can then, because it's silk flowers, you can turn these, you can sort of adjust it whichever way you want. Some people like to have everything folded all the way over, and if you want to do that, take some floral wire and you can just attach them so that you get this sort of nice round shape. I personally prefer my wreaths a bit wild, especially when it's the autumn ones, and I sort of like to leave it not necessarily looking messy, but I think it just makes it look a little bit more authentic. It looks a bit more real, but it's totally up to you. Now that is a quick demonstration onto how to do your autumn wreath. This is my first third wreath kit I've done now. I've done one for Easter, one for summer, and now one for autumn, and I'm going to be doing another one for Christmas. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't purchased your wreath kit, you can buy it on Wreath by Kaisa on Etsy, and please send me some pictures on Etsy once you're finished so that I can get to see your beautiful looking wreaths. Thank you very much for watching. Have fun crafting. Bye.